everybody, and welcome once more to the African EV podcast, where we talk about sustainable energy and transport solutions for Africa. Today, our guest is Faheem Gill, who is the founder of Keemut. So, in case you are wondering what is Keemut and all that, don't worry, he will definitely explain to all of us what Keemut is and what it does in this space. Faheem, welcome to the African EV
Yes,
podcast.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, so
Can you hear me
Faheem,
fine?
I can hear you perfectly. So Faheem,
Yep.
who are you and how do you get into this space? Can you tell us a bit about yourself and your background?
Yeah, I'm basically a mechanical engineer. Worked in designing cars for a bunch of car companies in the U.S. like Toyota, Honda, and others. Did that for a long time, and then after my MBA, went into investment banking, and then after that, decided to start my own company. So I patented this idea years ago, but then during COVID, decided to start building it out in earnest. Before I was working on a little bit here and there, but in the last 6 months, got a co-founder, built out the tech stack, and it's live now. So if you have a connected car like a Tesla, you can sign up and basically automatically create your valuation report for your car.
So before we started the podcast, you were telling me that you have an African connection. Are you African or you have an African connection? Which is it?
I was born in Nigeria, so born and
Okay.
raised in Nigeria. So I would say that is my African connection
Or where in Nigeria?
in Zaria. So
Okay.
it's like I think northeast corner, northwest, northeast corner.
Okay. So Nigeria is represented. Okay. So what's the meaning of the name? Is it Keemut? What's the meaning?
Yeah, it means value in Hindi and Urdu, which my co-founder he's from India, and basically our entire premise is we can help you save money on your car. So we're really building out lots of features
Okay.
that have that as the core foundation.
Okay.
So right now, the first product we're building out is the Keemut valuation report, which is based on the value of your car, because generally cars depreciate about 50% or so after 5 years.
Okay.
But that's like an average rule of thumb. Month to month, it changes quite a bit. Like for example, in the U.S. in 2020, used cars actually went up in value for a short period of time because of factory shutdowns
People
and
were chasing used cars.
like across the board, there's a huge demand for used cars because because of COVID-19, we're stopping to take public transport. So that migrated people over into the used car market. Then new vehicles were shut down, or there was less supply because the factories were shut down. So that increased demand.
Okay.
So when you start looking at all these different dynamic catalysts, uh, used car prices actually went up in value, and that's essentially what we do. We look at what is the value of your car based on many metrics: supply, demand, the condition of the car, the maintenance history, how you drive the car, were you driving it in the optimal time, RPMs or speed, and things of that nature. So depending on the car, there's different metrics we have. So based off of all of that, we essentially build out a report,
Okay.
and it's different for electric vehicles and it's different for ICE vehicles.
Okay. So can you unpack that a bit? You said that the solution is aimed at connected cars. Okay. Now,
Hmm.
in our part of the world, that is Africa, as you are well
Yeah,
aware, most of the cars that we buy are used vehicles. All right. So if
yeah.
somebody wants to maybe buy a 2010 Honda Civic, is that a connected vehicle? How can I know that this vehicle I'm considering is a connected vehicle?
A simple, I guess, rule of thumb would be is in the market that you are buying the car from. So let's say you're buying a right-hand drive Honda Civic. So let's say you go to Japan, right? So it's coming from Japan.
Mhm.
Do they have like a connected service for that car over there, right? So if they do, then they probably have the embedded hardware in the vehicle that's communicating with the corporate office, with their headquarters. If that's the case, then they are getting data. So normally they have a mobile app they'll give to the consumer, like to do lock unlock or some other features. So that
Okay.
basically indicates there's a connection.
Okay.
Like Nissan Leaf has a mobile app. So the Nissan Leaf data is available in in many countries. So if you're say importing from Japan or the UK, you'll have the data, depending if like right hand drive or left hand drive, right? So
Yeah.
most countries have this capability. On our website, we've got a link for compatible vehicles, so you can go there and see what cars are, which model year and which cars are compatible with our service. I like to use Tesla as a simple example because we have customers using that all over the world. So that one works. We know. We've got like Nissans, like in the US, they work. So what we are doing is we've launched a product, but we're looking for beta testers, especially in like countries like Kenya or Nigeria or Tanzania, or Ghana, right? Countries within Africa, which, like you mentioned, aren't really top of mind for a lot of car manufacturers. But used cars is a huge opportunity, and so if you're going to import cars from Europe, you can basically get this report. You can expect or request these reports from the people you're buying these cars from. If they don't know what it is, you just tell them to sign up at keemut.com, connect their car, then they have their report. Now, the way the platform is built, the car owner can sell these reports, right? So we keep a small portion of those proceeds. But if you own the car and you're say in England and you sign up, and let's say you want to sell your Nissan Leaf to say Kenya or Tanzania, um, so a dealer in say Tanzania says, I want this car in Kenya.
Hello.
Get the report.
Hello.
So as he drives the car, yeah, as he drives the car, we can then create this report, and then they can sell you the report.
Wait. Number of questions. It is that I intentionally asked about cars
Mhm.
because I didn't want to zero in on electric cars for the simple fact that as of now,
Sure. Can you?
electric vehicles for Africa is like less than 1%. Okay, so the average person who wants to buy a used vehicle is not thinking about EVs. So
Yeah, go ahead. There was a lag,
okay,
there was a lag there. Can you repeat your question?
yeah, I'm saying that the initial question I intentionally asked about non electric vehicles, the normal petrol and diesel cars, because the average African today, as we speak,
Hmm.
when he's thinking
Hmm.
about buying a car, he's not thinking about an electric car. The Nissan list, we know
Okay.
that they are most of them by default because of the standard that Tesla is defining are connected cars. But everybody wants to
Hmm.
buy the Honda Civic, the whatever. That is
Yep.
why when I
Hmm.
was asking, how can they tell? You didn't say that if the cars come with the mobile app, like I know this, some of these Volvos, I know they come with these basic apps that you can use to check the car with your phone. It means that it's connected. In other words, it's IoT enabled. Yeah, also.
Correct.
But
Correct.
but when you
Hmm.
compare the level of connectivity those cars have and the level of connectivity that, let's say, a Tesla has, it's like night and day. Okay. My question, therefore, is even with that level of connectivity of the legacy petrol and diesel cars, those who have some level of connectivity, will we be able to get the same
Right.
level of reports from those cars as say you will get from a Nissan Leaf or Tesla? Or we don't able to capture certain segments of the car's functionality.
It captures most. So the things that it will not capture is uh, things like, well, it depends. It actually depends because we have cars that we've had on the platform that are gas-powered ICE vehicles that give more data, and some that give less. So it's case by case, to be honest.
Okay,
Like
okay,
for
okay,
example, we've had vehicles like Toyotas that even give like carbon emissions and the angle of the accelerometer of the accelerator,
okay,
more data than you need, right? But they give a ton of information. Then we have cars that don't give that much. So the main things that we want to capture are in the condition of the engine or the battery, the driving profile. So let's say if you take this car, if you're driving this car, say in congestion all the time, right? You
okay,
drive between 0 miles, zero to 20 miles per hour every day, not faster. For a battery-powered car, like electric vehicle, that's fine. But for a gas-powered car, it's not good, right? So
okay,
we capture a speed profile, and based on the speed profile, we can score the car based on its reputation, its score, based on other vehicles we have on the platform, and its maintenance records. So when you put all this together, then you have a holistic picture of the car's condition. Right now, if you buy a car, a used car, normally the process is you look at it online. There's some photos, some basic information. Everybody says the car is perfect. You take it to a determination of the condition. You take it to a mechanic. They make it look perfect. Then they say it's good for 5 years, right? So usually the mechanics get it right, but there are times when they miss something, right?
okay,
So those situations come up. What we're doing is saying, okay, here's this report that'll tell you how the car was driven for the past 5 years. Based on that information, we'll say on the maintenance part of the report, what should you ask information about? For example, if the manufacturer recommends that you do, like say, 2 air cabin filter replacements that are interior based, and but you have 7 interior based items you fixed, it's
okay,
more than what was recommended. So that could indicate that there's some nagging problem.
okay,
Also, let's say if there's two recommended air cabin filter replacements, but you did zero, it'll also highlight that as this is insufficiently maintained, right? So you
okay,
can ask. Maybe they didn't fill that information out because everything's automated. Everything's automated except for the maintenance that was done. And the reason why is because there's so many different forms and different formats of that data, and what you might call an interior fix, somebody else might call an exterior fix.
oh, okay.
So so that's case by.
It's very subjective,
So,
basically.
well, to a certain degree, I mean, like for example, if you have tire work done or brake work done, that's pretty clear. But there'll be some other areas that aren't as clear. Like for example, like the interior example I gave, right? Air cabin filter replacement.
Hello?
But the report will automatically detect what areas you should focus in on. So what happens is when you go to a mechanic, he will check for like leaks, for misaligned panels and things of that nature, right? More or less like a physical, visual check.
Okay,
So we're not replacing that. We're replacing the history. Right now, what information, how was this car driven like 3 months ago? Was it driven cross country? Was it driven as a taxi? Right?
okay.
So that information you can't get easily. You can't get it today. We can give it to you.
Okay, so
So this
can you give
product
us a
complement.
demo? Can you give us, you were coming to give us a demo of an example of some of these reports and how
Right.
they look like in real life. Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes. So you can see that you're logging in.
Okay, so I just logged in, and this will
Mhm.
have a lot of vehicles that we're testing out, but many we don't have test data for, but we have test data for like this Tesla. Okay,
Okay.
so as you can see, it has things like what is the rough valuation. This is before we go into the report, so it gives you a rough idea what the valuation is.
Okay.
How much has it depreciated since you purchased, and how much did it depreciate last week? We can go to that level of detail to tell you how the value of the car is week to week. So we have that. Tells you how much distance the car has been driven and how much did you drive this month versus last month. So there's a huge increase in this car driving in January versus December.
Okay.
For electric vehicles, we have something called phantom drain.
Okay.
Phantom drain is like if you leave the car turned off, how much energy is it losing? So this tells you how much you've lost in terms of the kilowatt hours, the range, and how much does it cost. So we automatically detect where you're at, and based on where you're at, we in the U.S. at least, actually U.S. we do it at a state level. We can tell you the electricity prices at a state level. Internationally, it's at a country level. We'll tell you what the electricity rate is at a country level, and it'll determine your expenses.
So, question. Like the rates. So at the international level, so for a country like, let's say, Kenya, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire,
Mhm,
we can do
mhm.
the same. We can get the same. So if this Tesla were in any African country, we can get the same uh, figures, right?
Let's see. So what app have you, Gan? Should we try Tanzania?
Okay.
So right now we have these hard coded in because we changed them when we were testing it out. But
Okay.
oh, and the other thing is I did not change the currency. So yeah, so you can see this, but see here it is entered in. Oh no, this is uh, what is the current rate right now in Tanzania? Do you know? Oh,
I
where are
don't
you
have
at
it
right
in
now?
my. I'm in
You're in
Accra.
Ghana?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And where's this?
Oh, okay. So you're thinking of everything: exchange rate, the actual pump rate, right?
Yeah,
Let's
then you
see
hit
that.
update your local data. So it's
Okay.
saying that it's 3.218. So what is this?
It's actually
It's in Ghana
4.9.
shillings right now.
Ghana cedis is at about
You're in
4.9.
Ghana?
Yes, Ghana cedis.
Okay. You're
So
at
that's
4.
like 4.9.
So the last data we have is from, it's 3.28 is what we have as the last data set,
Yes. We are
right?
in we
So
are in
so we
2021.
do it like once a month.
We have improved.
Yeah. So if you do, so I think, so now if you can easily update it, and
Okay.
now this is going to be in your local currency,
Okay.
right? So like this is the range loss, right? Now it's changed. I still kept it in miles. I don't know if you're in kilometers, but I just kept it the same.
Okay. But I saw that
Um,
I saw that for the Tesla, it just changed
mhm.
the currency. It didn't change the value because it was $78,000
Let me see.
dollars.
Yeah, yeah, I don't. It changed these. Oh, that's because of this.
Yes, the
Because
currency is
because
like I think let's call it 5.7. Let's call it 5.7. I'm
let's
just
just make it.
approaching.
Yeah, let's just see. Yeah. So you see, it changed. This was much lower before. The dollar sign should not be there. It should be the local currency dollar sign, but this has changed. This was, I think, like $3 before. Now it's 91.
Okay, but I'm talking about the value of the
Yeah, you could.
car. The car itself. It's not saying it's
Oh, here, yeah,
73,000 Ghana
yeah,
cedis.
yeah, yeah. Yes. This needs to be updated. So yeah, we're
Okay.
in beta still, and this is the kind of stuff that I need input on, right?
Okay.
So these are because I know we've built it out, we've tested it out for the mobile app, but for the website, I think it's not up to date. But yeah, let's continue.
Okay.
This is something we have to update. Battery life. Now we go into battery life, which shows you the battery degradation of the vehicle. And as you could see in this
From
chart,
factory up to now.
since they connected to the car, yeah. So you could to Keemut. So you could see it's all over the place, but that's normal. But we normalize it.
Yeah. But
So
a question. Like for the battery life, for example. So let's say this gentleman who has this Model X is now coming to sell the car, and he signed up to
mhm,
Keynote this January. Let's say
mhm.
1st January. All right, but the car is already 2 years old because the app is able to tap into
Okay. Yeah.
the car's say internal systems. It means that it will be able to tap all its
Yeah.
history from the time he left the factory
I'm sorry.
up to the time it was the person is checking the report. not just from January 1st up to today.
Right. So some manufacturers do that, most don't allow that. So it all depends on each car manufacturer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They don't allow that.
That's clear. That's
So
clear.
that's
I
why
just
it's
wanted
like
to
this.
get an clarity on that. Please continue. Hello?
Were added like recently, and how much it costs. Yeah. Excuse me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, great. So let me just add this in, and let's make this back to
Yeah,
US.
it's just America.
Okay. So nope. Then let's change this to the local cost. Okay. So we were looking at other things such as the charge history, your cost, expenses, reminders, right? Like tire rotation is upcoming, the brake fluid suspension, torque checking, the brake pad cleaning. So this comes from the manufacturer side.
Okay.
And odometer history we have because this is a common issue where you have rollback concerns, right? Where people are changing the odometer, making it lower than it actually is.
Okay.
So we can prove that out that that didn't happen. If it does, then we get an alert and we highlight it. But it doesn't happen. We have not seen it happen. But if it does, we would capture it.
Okay.
So essentially, the vehicles tab, you can add many cars and you can connect. And this is how you connect. You click on connect, you enter in your credentials. It connects, like in this example of Tesla's backend, and connects to us. Some encryption happens and then it's finished. Then you can see one out of one car connected.
Wait, so for the for the login process, it means that each individual
Hmm.
will have one account. You create one account
I'm
in the
sorry.
Keemut. I'm saying that for the onboarding process, from what I
Yes.
understand, I'm understanding from your presentation, it means that each individual will
Hmm.
create one user account, and then the person can have more than one car associated with that account. Is that it?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
So, for example, like Teslas have all their cars connected to one account. Um, Nissan the same way. So essentially, that's how we get the data, just by one account. But you can have multiple manufacturers connected.
Okay. So let's say if I have a
And all this,
Tesla, if I have a Tesla, a Nissan Leaf, and let's say I don't know, maybe a Toyota, I can put all of them on the Keymart platform using my account.
correct,
Good.
correct, on one account. And so yeah. Now next, I'd like to show you just the logbook. I'll go through this briefly, right? So we've got like the maintenance history, your energy history, your insurance, and expenses all in one. Right. So if you can imagine like a logbook when you want to sell your car, you'll have everything in one place.
Okay.
If some, like for example, this one has two body related items which we're testing, but the recommended count is zero, so that's why it's saying ask. Why do you have two when you should have zero, right? And this one, like tire brake, should be five. Oh, I'm sorry, should be four, but you have five. So why do you have more than what's recommended, right?
Okay.
So there's things like this that we check, and then you can say, okay, well, it's because of such and such report, and you can just go view it, and it'll tell you all the details. And if you want to have attachments, you'll have attachments as well, and you can see the attachments.
So this
So
report,
the maintenance. Hmm,
what you are looking at now, is it the
hmm.
same thing that both the car buyer and the car seller or the car owner are going to see, or what the car owner will see is different from what the car buyer will see?
Oh yeah, so we'll go on that briefly. So I'll
Okay.
just wrap this up. Um, so you've already seen these charts. So this is basically looking at your battery data in much more detail, right?
Okay.
Things like the charge rate, is it charging fast, charging slow? Like this seems to be charging quite slow. A lot of inactive charges that are happening where the car is connected but not charging. So those need to be, like the car needs to be disconnected or turned off.
Okay.
So all this, and then we also, and then we have the trips, right? So if you want to see where the car has been, you have all this information, right? So you could see the start, end point, address, how much batteries use, what's the efficiency, right? So things of that nature. So there's a lot of data that we have,
Very
and for
comprehensive.
the U.S. we have tax. Yeah, but all this goes into the Keemut report. You can disregard these prices right now. We're just testing this out,
Okay.
but basically we'll give some information for free. Some is like the driving information, the battery information, the maintenance. The user can pick and choose what he wants to release, and that along with that, you can just add like multiply all these by 10. That's what the price will be, and that's essentially what the final price will be, right? And then you just click and you can view the report. Now this is what. Let me see if you can hide this. You can see the URL. So you have a URL which you can then show, and that will show you that you can put in your ad wherever you have. Unless you want to buy a car from the UK, that website will have this URL. You click it, you buy it as a potential buyer, and this is information you get. Now you mentioned about how much data we track, so we show you that here. The lifespan
Okay.
tracked is 37% of the car, right? The driving utilization is 36%. Total track miles 7,000. Total odometer is 19,000. Right?
Okay.
What's the battery range? Right? What is the value? Right? So now we're getting more into the detail.
Okay.
Right? So
This is relevant
this is like
data.
the. I'm sorry.
That is, I can see that they are relevant data for the reports. This is relevant for
Yes. Yeah.
somebody trying to buy to make a decision, an informed decision.
Yeah. Exactly. So and then you can see the trend, right? So where's the car going today? Where's the
Okay.
car going to be in a few weeks? Right? Next month's predicted value, which is fairly accurate. But you see the driving. We take driving, battery, demand, and maintenance. Maintenance we haven't added yet, but
Okay.
this is what we need beta testers to add more data so we can build this out. But when you put all this together, you have a value for the car.
Okay.
And again, the odometer. So looking for rollbacks. How much is a like monthly drive? What's the cost per mile with the current valuation, current expenses? Right, then like how is the car driven? Right, remember I mentioned congestion or city driving for electric vehicles. This is fine, but if you're driving highway or extreme highway, that's bad. Right, so we capture all this. So this ends up giving you a profile of how this car is being treated,
Okay.
and then the expenses and the maintenance information, right?
Okay.
And then when we wrap it up with just like you can see, there's some attachments. So it's probably nothing here, right? So you get the attachment, um, which is probably just a test. Yeah, so we're just testing things out. But that's it in a nutshell, right? So
Okay.
that's the evaluation report. Oh, and we've patented this in many countries. So all this is under our IP, and yeah, now we just take it to market.
So the question I wanted to ask, as you were sharing the
Hmm.
report, was that you said you can show a link. Let's
Yeah.
just try for those of you watching. The reason why you're not seeing any videos because our internet connection is unstable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe
Yeah.
you can try and see whether the video, try and see the video. Maybe you can have some video. Um, well, the question I wanted to ask is
Yeah.
the link that the owner
Yeah.
will sort of put it in the report. Okay,
Hmm.
that link,
Hmm.
when the
Hmm.
buyer clicks on it, does that mean the
Hmm.
buyer must pay before viewing the report?
They will get a little bit of information for free. Some basic information. The first column, the first row you saw, you get for free, which is like the battery range, the uh, the amount of the odometer and how much has been trapped, right?
Okay,
The make, model, year, the VIN number, all that. So that gives the potential buyer information that this report is linked to this car. So if you want to see the rest, like the valuation charts, the maintenance information, you click on, you have to purchase the report.
okay, so it's a bit like a freemium model. So the initial, let's say the bare bones report, you can see. Then if you realize,
Right.
okay, I like the car, I'm interested in it, and you want the complete report, then you have to pay something before you get
Yeah.
that also. So when you say you have
The
to
report,
pay something, how
exactly.
much are we talking about?
About $50, 50
Fifty
US dollars.
dollars. Okay,
Yeah.
that's close to 300 Ghana
But the
cedis.
but but a lot of the a lot of that money goes back to the car owner.
Okay. So but
So right now,
but
if you sell a car, yeah, right now if you want to sell a car, you'll get maybe 100 people calling you about the car and offering you like, you know, half of half what you're asking for them. If you ask $30,000 for the car, they'll say, I'll buy it from you for 15,000 cash,
okay.
right? And you get a lot of people asking you basic questions like, what's the odometer? What's the condition of the car?
Okay.
Now instead of spending like an hour every day talking to these guys who are maybe not serious about buying the car, they can easily buy the report and it's done.
Okay. So
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 it
in
will
other
all,
words, so instead of
let's say you want to
getting
buy a car in the UK. Yeah,
okay.
let's say you want to buy a car in the UK. So this website has like 5 cars that you're interested in. You buy 5 reports, or you buy none, right? If you don't buy none, you're taking a risk. But at the same time, um, the dealer, he can filter out people who are serious about buying the car or not serious about buying the car.
Okay.
As a dealer, if he wants to give the report away for free, he can. As a personal car owner, if you're selling it by yourself, you can charge for the report. That's totally up to you. But the key point is the car owner can keep a majority of the money.
Okay. But what, that means that your value proposition to the car owner is that you are filtering number one out the unserious and the serious people because of that commitment that
Yeah,
they have to make upfront. Number
right.
two, you are making it easier for the potential buyers to get the information that they will have called the person to verify from.
Yes.
So therefore, you are saving the person
Well,
time.
more so, yeah, but more than that for the person who's buying the car, because you are adding some transparency to this area where before you would just have to take the owner's word for it. He then rolled back the odometer. Like, how do you check? You take the mechanic can miss things like this, right?
Okay.
Like many car buyer or car sellers in the US will say this car was driven on that. You really don't, right? Now you do.
Okay.
So
So
you're
you
buying
have
a car from Europe and you're going to import it, right? How do you know this car? The driving, you look at the utilization. How, was this car parked all the time? Was it driven all the time? So we capture those things as well.
that's very fair. So now for the car owner to join the platform, must the car owner pay to join the platform? Hello, hello.
A lot of other features you get, uh, yeah, to the platform for that,
Let us
like,
hold on. The line went bad,
yeah, I'm
so
here.
I didn't hear anything. When I ask a question, please can you start your answer again?
Yeah, yeah, sure. So right now you pay between $5 and $10 a month. And the reason is because you get a lot of additional features for that cost, right?
Okay.
Because throughout the life ownership of the car, there's a lot of information that will come to you. Again, maintenance reminders, getting your trip history, like how's the car being driven, right? Some feedback. How's your car's condition? What is your car's condition compared to the average, right? Things of that nature, which you may may not have access to, but could be valuable to you. You get
Okay. So
in the U.S.
let's continue.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I was going to ask another question, which is,
Hmm.
so right now the owner has this access to this information after the buyer has bought the car. Okay,
Okay.
practically speaking, there's a potential that this into bracket creepy Joe is somewhere in England, and he knows where I'm driving at any particular time in Ghana. Okay.
No, not possible.
Oh, that's a it's a potential uh, sort of problem. So how does Kimat go about that? It doesn't mean that after the person has bought the car, there's a transfer of ownership. Then that car is disconnected from the person's account, the original owner's account. I mean, how do you go about that?
Yeah, so there's two. We've got quite a few security features built in, but I'll just give you the high level ones that I guess I could be open to share. Um, Essentially, we don't save the car owner's password or any information like that for the connection.
Okay.
So when the ownership of the car changes, uh, the new car owner will put the VIN number assigned with his email address as password, right? When
Wait,
that happens, there's a mute,
please,
right? So,
can you explain that again? The new owner will do what with the VIN number?
so right now, what happens with a connected car is when you buy a connected car, you register it with the car manufacturer's website.
Okay.
Okay. To register with the car manufacturer's website, normally what happens is you type in the VIN number, then the manufacturer will send a message to the car, right? Like get near the car and turn on the blinkers or something.
Okay.
And that verifies that you are the car owner. So there's a mechanism between the car manufacturer and the car owner that proves that that car is owned by whoever's the car owner.
Okay.
Okay. Once
Okay.
that is done, there's a new connection that has been created, and the old one is gone.
Okay.
So that data is now associated with the new car owner's email address. Okay, and then there's a token that comes from that. So what happens is now that that information is out there with the new car owner,
Okay.
when they connect to Keemut, then the data is connected to uh, with a new email address, right? With us, in the sense that that email address has a token and we get the token, right? So the
Okay.
previous owner tried to connect, his token doesn't work anymore. We don't have his email address, but we have an inactive token.
Okay. Okay. I got it. I got it. So now, for those of
So yeah, so what happens now is that owner can see the data while he owns the car.
okay,
The new owner sees the data that he owns the car.
so the new owner can see the data, including before he got the car.
No, no,
He can
not
only
yet.
see from the time he got the car. Is that
Yep,
also? So he can see only his
yep,
history of using with the car,
correct,
and then the old
correct.
owner can see his history of using of the car up to the point that there was a transfer when he lost control of the car's uh, details.
Correct.
Okay, okay,
Exactly.
that's very clear. Now, you did make clear that as of now we are still in the startup phase. So
Yes.
the Keymot platform, we are looking for beta testers.
Hmm. Yep.
What are the things that you need? What are the things to be a beta tester? Number one, are there any other any obligations with becoming a beta tester? Number two.
What do you mean by obligation?
Okay, so in this podcast, for example, we
Yeah.
heard that if you are owner and you want to sell your car, you register, you must pay a monthly subscription fee. So if I want to be a
Right.
beta tester, does that mean I have to pay
Yeah.
that monthly subscription fee, or there's no subscription fee, or there's a reduced subscription fee, or there's a higher subscription fee? I don't know.
It actually it depends. Yeah, it depends on the manufacturer, whichever vehicle it is, because um, we're working on some new features that will end up costing us more money, so we'll have to transfer that over. For example, if your car's not a connected car with the traditional or the new way, we can always include like an OBD tracker which you plug in. So there'll be a cost involved with that. So we can bypass some costs, but like if they want to be a beta tester with the OBD device, then those costs they would have to incur. But for the most part, we can give things at a discounted rate,
So so
but there would
let's
still be some cost.
so let's say if I have a Tesla,
Mhm.
that's fully connected
Yep.
already. You have to pay something to connect my Tesla to Keemut as a beta Tesla.
Well, yeah. So we are. Yeah, I should have. So all the the connections are 9.99 per month, but for Tesla we already made it 4.99. So that we already discounted down.
Okay, a quick one. That is
Mhm.
dollars. $4
Yes.
99 cents and nine
Yeah.
dollars 99 cents. So for those of you watching who are thinking about it, that is the amount. It's in dollars. It is not in shillings, cedis, naira, or rand, or
Yeah.
whatever currency, or CFA. It is dollars,
U.S. dollar.
US
Yeah. U.S.
dollars.
dollar.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you are in Africa, wherever you are, you can
Yeah.
sign up onto this. But that also means that they must have access to the internet. They must have internet connectivity, wherever they
Yes.
are
Yes.
in the
Correct. Correct.
planet. Good. Now,
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
how can they practically join this program? Do you have to go to your website? I mean, how do you go about it
Yeah.
practically?
Just sign up. Sign up. Like, oh, there's one thing that I could say is free is you can sign up for free and just enter your car's information in. You would have to manually enter a lot of the information of the fuel. Like we've got an Android mobile app and we have an iOS mobile app coming out where you can enter a lot of these things in manually, like your fuel, like how much fuel did you put in and things of that nature, right? So there's a lot of stuff you could do for free. You just have to manually do it.
Okay.
But you sign up on the website. You can download the Android app. iOS is coming out probably within a week or so, and like those are free. Like you do have that free option, but the connected car one, normally the manufacturer's charges, so there's a cost involved with it.
Okay. Fahim, thank you very much. It's early days yet. For those listening and watching this podcast without video, I suspect that the this video will come out after a week, roughly. So maybe by then we'll
Awesome.
even include the links to the Android and iOS apps that he's talking about. So check the video description. Maybe they may be lying somewhere
Yeah, I mean,
out down there in the video
if you
description.
have some Tesla, if you have some Tesla users, right, that are interested, maybe I'll email you a code, and then we can try using that code,
Okay, all right.
and
Wait,
we can do that.
is a code user specific or is uh, generic?
No, no, no. It'll be like a discount coupon code.
Are you saying no? It is generic or is no? It's user specific.
It is generic.
Okay, so we can add it to the description also below. Then also,
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I am saying that does that mean that we can add that code to the description, the video description below, so that people can check it out?
Sure. We'll do some. Yeah, we'll discuss offline what's the best way
Okay,
and
okay.
where to add it.
All right. So you heard that first. Maybe you can shoot him an email or them an email.
Mhm.
I will include that email in the video description, maybe their socials, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think
Please.
it's get Keemut. So you can just follow us on Twitter at get Keemut and Instagram. But
Good.
we're like not that active. But we will be in the near future. In the near future.
So whatever you're saying, you know where to look for it. It's down there. Check down there. You will see it. So for him, thank you very much.
No problem. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a nice day.
Take you too. Bye.
Bye bye.